talk about this topic with you. I'm Katie Nelson, and I'm known as Katie the Creative Lady, and you can find me at katiethecreativelady.com, where I have a blog and a shop, and I try to give lots of creative inspiration. I'm going to talk about how to choose photos and supplies for layouts. This is something I get a lot of questions about, and a lot of people feel intimidated by this process, especially as they're just starting with scrapbooking, or maybe if they're a little out of practice. I'm going to be using my Mellow Yellows collection for this, and so I wanted to just walk through it with you really quick and show you some of the supplies. With my pocket cards, I always have 24 cards, and I include 12 of them as the size 3x4 and 12 of them as the size 6x4. And these are great for pocket pages or traditional layouts. You can also use them just to print out little notes or greeting cards. The filler cards are great for filling in those spaces on your page. And I always like to have a wide variety, especially in these color collections, where you can have a lot of different topics and you're tying them together with the same color. The Love You Bunches banana card is one of my favorites, and that I love that you light up my life. This floral card is one that could work as a filler or a journaling card. You can use it on its own, or you can write on that white space on the bottom. When life gives you lemons, you need to make something yummy. It doesn't just have to be lemonade. I love those other things too. That's fun. And here comes the sun. It's hard to not think of sunshine with yellow. A beautiful set of branches with some golden flowers. And a today card, which works well, is also a journaling card. You look radiant with those sunbeams and bring on the sunshine. Those bees are probably my very favorite from this collection. My daughter drew those on her tablet and used them to create a paper that goes with this kit as well. They make a little darling topper on that journaling card. And the happy things list, those bars can act as a list spot for your journaling, or you could use that as a filler card. And then it's always good to have a basic journaling card with lots of white space for your story. And there's the filler cards again in the 6x4 size, so you can see how this orientation looks. And the journaling cards as well. The paper pack is filled with really fun prints, all in yellows. We've got a honeycomb and those bees that are just busy, right? They're ready. And the mini polka dot and a beautiful plaid that is very versatile to use. A watercolor paper and a pretty soft floral, soft, more pastel yellow stars, which those would be really cute for some baby pages, and a nice multi-yellow stripe. All those zesty, yummy oranges, lemons. Those lemons look delicious to me, and I have some fun ideas for those. And the page full of golden dashes, that's a really good basic pattern that I've found to be useful. Yellow brick, I couldn't help but sing Yellow Brick Road while I was designing that one. And a softer yellow floral. The template set is great for making scrapbooking so much easier and quicker. You don't have to sit and figure out how many photos to put on the page and how to space them and do the measurements. I've done all that for you, and I've also included the shadowing. I always include 4 single-page templates and 4 double-page templates, so you can get a lot of use out of a template set. The stamps and brushes will also give you a lot of variety and ways to stretch this collection. You can add these as overlays to photos or add them to papers or journaling cards, even in different colors. And they're also great for hybrid projects, like a lot of people love to make cards. These are perfect for that. How to choose your photos and supplies for a layout. This is a big question. A lot of people think that there are only two answers, that you either start with the supplies first or you start with the photos first. I think those are the two main approaches, but I'm going to touch on some others as well. I want you to know I use all of these, and I don't think one is better than the other. I think there are instances for each. If you start with the supplies, it means you're going to be looking at your kit first and then picking your photos after. If you start with the photos, that would mean you'd start in your photo library and then you would think about what supplies to add after. I do a lot with color, where I will focus on the color that happens in photos or in supplies and match that. And I will explain about what I mean by finding a common thread. But the most important thing is to just don't overthink it. People get so stressed about this, and they end up taking so much time trying to figure out how to pick just the perfect photos or just the perfect supplies that sometimes they never get anything done. Don't let that be you. Just have fun with it. In this case, I will start with my supplies because I'm using this Mellow Yellows set. I'm going to really look at the pocket cards and think if there's anything that would inspire me. Now, in this case, I can think of pages that would go with really every one of these cards, but I'm going to pick some to focus on today. I know I have some pictures of bananas from a few years ago that I want to use. And that lemon card, I really want to use that. I know I have at least one lemon picture, and I'm trying to think what else I could use. And I probably will use that Here Comes the Sun. Those are ones that I really want to focus on today. So this is an interesting approach that you can use. I have my photos stored in several places, and if you ever wonder about how I organize my photos, just go to my blog and search photo organization or click on the photos icon. But I believe in having organized photos. It doesn't mean I'm fully there, but I'm getting closer all the time. And I also believe in having more than one location for them. So I have them on a hard drive, and I also have them online. At this time, I have them in Dropbox and in Google Photos. I am starting to use Amazon Photos, which comes free with your Amazon Prime membership. So I'm exploring a little bit there. Now, Google Photos has been really good for me for the search features. There are some things I don't love about Google Photos, and it's mainly that it's hard to download a lot of them at once. And it's hard to download them as a full library if you ever needed to, if something ever happened to all your backups. So it's not perfect, and I know a lot of people are upset that they're starting to charge now. That part doesn't bother me, but I do think that you need to have more than just Google Photos as your backup, but I like having it as one of my backups because their search engine is so powerful. And of course, being from Google, you would expect that. So while you're in Google Photos in your browser or in the app, if you go to their search bar and type in the word that you're looking for, it will pull up all of your photos that are related to that. Now you can see it's not perfect. There are a few that just don't fit, but it did really a good job, and it reminded me of some photos I didn't even realize or remember that I had. So I really love Legos, little Lego minifigures especially. And so that was fun to remember that I had that. The ones I had in mind that I was hoping to find were these from a silly session we did several years back when I was taking an online photography class and I wanted to practice with my DSLR. And my husband was very kind to help me with the setting. So that I was glad to find those. Those were what I was looking for. I was able to download those. It also reminded me of the dates that I was looking for. Now, some of these have been edited, and that's why the dates are off. But this helped me locate those photos. Now, you can see there's some like that are old scanned photos that aren't going to have the date on. And I can't believe I picked up that tiny little bunch of bananas there on the counter. I thought my cheesecake was a banana, and I don't know why it picked those cookbooks. So it's not perfect, but it picked some great photos too. This is actually me on Christmas when I was about 1.5 years old, riding a banana. So great subject matter there. It helped me pull together what I wanted to use for this layout. I used a template from this collection and included those pictures of those silly Lego gorillas playing around with the bananas. Decided that I could throw in that minifigure, even though that was taken at a different time. That's the beauty of scrapping by topic, is it doesn't always have to be by date. And a lot of times your supplies will give you that topic. Now, I'm not sure, without this card, I would have sat and thought, oh, I need to do a layout with these bananas. I might have tried to throw them in with something else happening at that time, but I like how this pulled me in that direction. I just used one of the soft yellow papers and the stripe, and it was done. Very easy and very fun. I used the same process for my lemon page. Again, not perfect. We've got limes instead of lemons. There's a few things that don't make sense, but it reminded me of some photos I had forgotten about. I had not remembered about the lemon chicken picture, and that's a really great one for me to include because that's probably our favorite dish when we order Chinese food. These are some lemon crepes from a restaurant that's now closed that we used to love to go to, and I started to kind of get the layout formed in my head. I used the template, I put in the card, put in those photos I found, and I got thinking about, I bet I have a picture from Pizzeria Limon, because that's one of the pizza places we love here in Utah, and they actually have a pizza that has real lemon slices on, peel and all, and they're very good. They're sliced very thin, and it's a really good pizza. So now I have a great memory that's all tied around this lemon theme that was inspired by the supplies. This layout kind of comes from a hybrid approach to that. I was looking through my photo library of pictures from the last few years that I wanted to be sure to document. And I ran into this photo of the sunflowers, and I thought I really want to use that, and I thought it would be really nice with that Here Comes the Sun card. And then I started thinking about, well, what else could I put with that? What else would work? And again, I turned to my search feature for yellow and yellow flowers and found these. And then I also found this from our visit to Newport Beach a few years ago. So sometimes it all comes together when you weren't even planning it that way in the beginning. At first, I thought I might just focus on sunflowers, but I love how it turned out to be a mixture, because then I could really document how I always take pictures of flowers. I have maybe more pictures of flowers than any other topic because I really love to photograph them. So of course I decided to add some floral paper and use that watercolor background. Papers can also be good inspiration. Doesn't just have to be the cards. You saw how I used the lemon paper and the floral. Well, a lot of these might inspire me to create certain layouts. Now, here are some photos from a family photo session back in 2012. And you can see that we had a lot of colors here. My son was wearing orange. My husband was wearing brown. We have varieties of tan and browns with us. And I wanted to get these pictures scrapped. And so I started looking at how they would work together. And I decided to focus on the yellow, and that this plaid would work so well because the darker yellow almost turns into a brown look. And I could have left this one in color with the orange, but I sort of liked this black and white, almost sepia look that my photographer had done with some of our photos that day. And I always like a mix of color and black and white or color and sepia. I think that's really a nice look. So I decided on this one to keep the background white and to use that border of the plaid to just bring out some of the colors. So I really focused on probably the photos first in this, but I knew I had yellow in mind. And then I just put that together. So sometimes it can be photo first, sometimes it can even be color first. Here's just a group of really random photos. I wanted to find something that would be sort of a hodgepodge. And back in 2017, I was trying to do at least one photo a day, and some days I would end up doing more. So I picked a day in March and found this group of photos. We had had an especially busy day. And I looked at these, and of course, I see a little yellow popping up, but it's not like that was enough to make me think, oh, I need to use this yellow kit. I just really wanted to put all these photos together. And of course, this is a potato casserole I made for a neighbor's funeral, so that's a little golden. But my focus here was not on color. My focus was on telling the story of the day. And really, the predominant color in this would be blue, probably blue and white. But also, blues work really well with yellows. They're very complementary to each other. So sometimes you can take that approach as well. But in this case, I just thought, oh, I'm going to try it with the yellow and see how it looks. I've already got my yellow kit out. I'm working with it. I have been working with these templates. I'll just see how that all comes together. Then I thought, how can I tie these random pictures together to tell my story? And the today card ended up being perfect for this because they were all from the same day. Now, it wasn't a momentous day by any means that I thought I need to tell this story, but when I found that card and put them together with the photos, it ended up being kind of an interesting snapshot in time. This was a day where we went to the dentist. I worked, I cleaned, I had some service where I baked something for a funeral. And putting that all together gives somebody a pretty good idea of, well, this is what I was doing on that day. And I love how it turned out. And the yellows actually work really nice, even with the photos that don't have a lot of yellow in, but they are complementary to it. So you can go by theme, you can go by color, you can tie in the multiple colors or themes by using these different techniques. Find a card with a topic that brings them together. Find a color that enhances the photos. Find something that underlies the theme in your supplies. Find a kit that goes well with the feeling of the photos. The main thing I really want to emphasize is just don't worry too much about it. Don't think it has to be absolutely perfect. Just scrap. This is one of the printables from my collection, Bring On the Sunshine. And so I hope that you will just have fun with this and enjoy it. And I appreciate you watching. Hope you'll subscribe. That really helps you find new videos from me. Be sure to hit that like button too. That really helps me out. And I'll see you next time. So be sure to keep watching my YouTube channel. Thanks so much.